Hey everybody, welcome back to Bloodborne. This is going to be episode 10. We are going to start off here going through the Forbidden Woods again, but we're just going to run past everything because there is a hidden path off to the left that we're going to go through. And what you're going to want to do to get here is you're going to run past all of that stuff. Come down this little field of flowers that they got there. Past that, jump down into this little thing here. And then take a left before you reach that gate. Now, because I closed that gate earlier, all of these dogs got let out of their cages. If that gate does not close, then the dogs are going to stay in their cages, I believe. Even to this point in the game. So you might not have to worry about them if you decided to not go that way. So you're going to want to pick up those antidotes and either have them on your square button hotbar or your little mini storage thing there, because you come down here, you're going to reach the poison swamp of the game. Surprisingly, this is only one of 2 poison swamps in the main game. There is a chalice that we don't actually go into because it's not needed for progression. I believe it's the Hintertomb chalice. That whole area is filled with poison. Miyazaki was kind enough to only include 2 smaller poison areas in the game here. And this is actually the way out, but we don't want to go out yet. We wanted to come over here and grab some items. Those little worms are extremely annoying. They can be very, very hard to hit depending on which weapon you have. You can shoot them, but a lot of times I find your gun will miss or just not do a whole lot of damage in general to them. So it's not really worth fighting them in my opinion, as you can see. Yeah, they can take you down really, really quickly. They appear in about 3 areas of the game, I believe. Maybe a 4th. They play a lot like the worm enemies that you find in Dark Souls 1, right before Ceaseless Discharge. These ones do seem to be a little bit faster and a little bit more aggressive, though. And they're rarely ever alone. Down here, they kind of ease you into it a little bit by giving you 1 or 2 as you're walking through the swamp, and then they start appearing in about 2 or 3. But I wanted to come back. I wanted to get my blood echoes that I lost and get a little bit of revenge on the worms that decided to kill me. If you can get them in little groups like that, throw a few Molotov cocktails, you can take care of them pretty easily. And we can get an Arcane Blood gemstone. That's the main reason for coming down and exploring this particular area, is you can get some triangle gemstones. The arcane one that we got a nourishing one, I believe, and we got a dirty one. What the dirty one is that's this game's version of like a poison infusion. And since we're in a poison area, I might as well talk about it now. There are two types of poison in this game. There's slow poison and there is rapid poison. Slow poison is the typical type of poison that you would deal with in a Souls game. Damage over time, and a little bar that ticks down as your poison is fading away, basically. And then you have rapid poison, which is another version of bleed in this game. I know that Frenzy, I said earlier, is sort of this game's version of bleed, but they both work the same way. It's just Frenzy is a lot worse and it's a lot more aggressive. Frenzy also builds up quicker or slower depending on how much insight you have. So that's something that kind of makes it unique to Rapid Poison, and also a pretty cool mechanic in the game, despite the fact that I hate Frenzy. So anyways, we came up that ladder, and we came out in Yharnam again. And that shortcut that we opened up is a gate that we passed by right after we left Iosefka's clinic in the beginning of the game, right after we woke up. So we're actually on the rooftops here. Look at where we are. And if you remember, we sent somebody here. We sent the guy that we found was eating those people. And if you look at this little alien-looking thing, he's doing the same thing that that guy was. He is going through the motions of what he was doing when we found him in Forbidden Woods. And then you see a dead alien thing on the table there. So yeah, Iosefka is doing experimentation on people. Anybody that you send here will end up as one of those little blue things.
Ah, moonlit scents. How did you worm your way in here? Very unfortunate. I had such high hopes for you. Well, I won't make any excuses. Would you mind leaving us alone? Things need not change. You'll do the rescuing, and I'll do the saving. But if you refuse to leave... Oh well. I've always wanted to try my hand on a hunter.
So yeah, Iosefka's clinic is not safe. She is doing experimentation on people that you send here, which she will reward you for if you do not come up through the back way and you talk to her through the door again. And we're going to grab the Canehurst summons, and right here, this is the real Iosefka. Denoted by the fact that there is a Iosefka's blood vial that is given to us whenever we kill that. So the first Iosefka that you talk to, that's the real Iosefka. And then when you come back here later in the game, after you open up Odin Chapel and can start sending people here, she becomes imposter Iosefka. So I'm not super well versed on the lore and everything that's related to Iosefka and the blue guys, which I've been calling them blue guys, but their real name is celestial minions. If you actually want to go up the stairs and fight her when she talks to you after you enter that room, that is something you can do, but I wouldn't recommend it if you're trying to get one of the endings, because she does drop an item that you need to get that ending. And you unfortunately cannot get that item from her if you kill her at that point. So we went back to the Hunter's Dream, and this time we're going to go to Hemrick Charnel Lane again. We're going to take these shortcuts, and we're going to go to that obelisk that is in the middle of that large open area that we found right before the boss. And I have a habit of dying in this area, so I wanted to make sure that the shortcut was available if I did happen to die. So I didn't die, but what the hell is it with me and these executioner enemies? So you're going to want to approach the obelisk. Obviously, you don't have to kill all the enemies here, but they can sneak up on you after this little cutscene and kill you. And if you get killed, then you will not be able to get this cutscene again, and you will be locked out of Castle Canehurst. At least that's how it was in the original patch of the game, I believe, as it happened to me at one point. I didn't realize that you couldn't go back if you didn't take the chariot the first time. So if that's been patched out, then my mistake for not knowing that, but I didn't want to take the chance. And I said that happened to me during my first playthrough, but I should probably clarify that I didn't actually mean my first playthrough and misspoke there. I really meant my first series of playthroughs when the game first came out, because the first time I played through this game, my very first character, very first playthrough, I didn't even find this area. I didn't find this area, and I didn't find Upper Cathedral Ward. Because this is really well hidden off. And these are those Bloodlicker enemies that I was talking about in the DLC. This is where you would first face them. But yeah, this area is absolutely beautiful. And it's hidden away. So a lot of people, unless they Managed to find that shortcut to Yosef's clinic. Managed to understand what was going on with the Canehurst summons. They would completely miss this area entirely, just like I did in my very first playthrough. I wanted to come down here and get that item. But I'm going to leave it up to you to decide whether it was worth it to actually come down here and get this item. So that is a decent blood gem. And it's one that you could definitely use at this point of the game, depending on your build. But I don't really know if it's worth getting attacked by like 12 worms to go down there and get it. So yeah, I'm going to leave that one up to you to decide. These guys, they're not necessarily tough, but they hit pretty hard. They can stun lock you and get you in a round of attacks that will kill you. And you can't really get behind them like you can most enemies because they have that rear kick. They're also just, God, super creepy looking. So I wanted to try to fight a few of them, just to show off what it's like to fight them. Ended up dying, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to head into the castle now. Just all around here, it's just people furiously cleaning and worshiping. You have these ghosts that just kind of appear out of nowhere. Try to swipe at you. And then that's where you can pick up another weapon, the Rider Palash, which is sort of a rapier type weapon. I've never really used it. And to be honest, I haven't really seen a whole lot of people use it in general. So I have no idea if the weapon is really that useful or not, whether it's any good. So, a little bit of backstory and lore behind this area. This is the home of the Biobloods that Alfred was talking about. And a long time ago, a sect of hunters called the Executioners were led here by a person named Ligarius to basically wipe out everybody who lived here. They were basically enemies of the healing church because the type of blood that they used to heal themselves with was considered tainted and bad blood. Right here we get something called the Noble Dress, which you can kind of tell by the icon. It looks like the dress that Ariana is wearing. She is the NPC that we sent to Odin Chapel, the one who gave us the blood before. So I believe that she is actually supposed to be from Canehurst. So just a nice, interesting little bit of lore there. So we got these little gargoyle guys that are kind of hanging up here as well. And it's worth noting, I think, that, you know, these are beasts that you don't see anywhere else in the game. I believe that you may see the gargoyle enemies a few places in Chalice dungeons, but you only see the Bloodlickers in the DLC and Canehurst Castle, and you only see these guys here. So I kind of think that this may be the kind of beast that they turn into when they use the blood. Because you don't find any werewolf enemies here or anything like that. You just find ghosts and these little enemies. And of course the gargoyles. The ghosts are basically just because of what happened to this place, due to the fact that they all got slaughtered by the executioners. But the gargoyles, I honestly just believe that those are the type of beasts that they turn into, as opposed to werewolves or any other kind of beast. I was trying to pull one of those enemies, but I ended up getting both of them. Luckily, only one of them came and attacked me at a time, but I'm not doing a whole lot of damage, so it's taking me a while to defeat all of these. So there we have a dead executioner. We're able to pick up the executioner set. That is the shortcut. You do not have to ride the shortcut up to open up a door or anything like that, like you do in the Forbidden Woods. So that enemy that is on top of these little stairs right here, holding the candle, she shoots something at you, and it gives you a mark on the back of your head. It starts to drain your stamina, and it causes all of the ghost enemies to become more aggressive and actually start to chase you. So most of the ghost enemies that we've fought so far, they stand there and they will attack you, but they don't actively chase you until you get that little mark on the back of your head, and they do that scream. If you come and run up that little staircase there and go into that little area, grab that treasure chest, that is the Evelyn. That is a very good weapon. It's a little bit more powerful than the Hunter pistol, so it does a little bit more damage. That little bit of extra damage can be really helpful in a blood tinge build. And that's also the weapon that I typically use. But I didn't put any of my points into blood tinge for this playthrough. So I just ended up continuing to use the Hunter pistol throughout the game. Those guys don't seem very quick, but they can definitely take you by surprise. And it doesn't help that this little thing here is continuously hitting you with those little darts. I was trying to sneak up on that enemy there, but he was not having any of it. One of the main reasons to come here from the Forbidden Woods, obviously, is to get those bloodstone chunks. In Forbidden Woods, you actually do get, I believe, your first 1 or 2 bloodstone chunks in the game. But mostly you just get the twin bloodstone shards. So it's really useful to come here, even at a lower level, to grab those bloodstone chunks and upgrade your weapon. We come through that window up there, come back outside again. you can backstab those guys and get that little visceral attack. They're good for farming twin bloodstone shards as well if you need any of those. If you come around this table here, you can get the Knights set. That is a very, very fashionable piece of equipment. I believe the stats on it are pretty good as well, though I don't typically use it. And here we get the Executioner's Gloves, which is an arcane spell that I actually like a whole lot. It's not the most powerful one, but it shoots 3 projectiles that actually have a homing effect on them. So they will chase an enemy to a certain extent. And that is one of the items that I actually end up using a whole lot. Not only because, you know, I like it, but because it is basically the first real arcane spell that you are able to get. And I think you're about to see it here. So yeah, I know that you can get other arcane spells like the Beast Roar and the Old Hunter's Bone, but this is the first one that does damage. So this is what I feel is truly the first spell that you can actually find in the game. If you come through that window, you can open up this little shortcut here, which is incredibly helpful once we get to the boss, because it is a long run back from that lantern. That is the only lantern in here until you fight and defeat the boss. And the one after you defeat the boss is pretty much only good for coming back up here after you join the Covenant that defeating that boss opens up. In that chest you can get a Warm Blood Gemstone, and that's very unique in the terms that you can put that into any slot. So you can put that into a waning slot, a triangle slot, or you can put it on a typical blood gem slot. And if you just run around this whole entire area, you can go there, grab 2 more bloodstone chunks. And I wanted to make sure that I explored everywhere up here, just in case I did miss anything, but that is just where we came from. You're going to want to run up here, up this little tower area. Got a red-eye gargoyle. And that is the last part of the Knights set that we picked up just a moment ago. So this is the run to the boss, and I really wish that they had put another lantern here or something, because the run up to this boss is a little annoying. It's really hard not to take damage as you're running up here, and there is an actual area where you have to fall down, like we did just a moment ago, which means that you will always take damage because of that fall. Now the damage isn't that big of a deal, but the big deal is that the boss that we're about to fight, Martyr Ligarius, can be pretty difficult. So after a while, that run up to him can be sort of annoying, but you know, that is the nature of this game, obviously, and I still love it anyways. Martyr Ligarius is one of my favorite fights in the game, and I am about to go fight him, but I won't lie, I did not do many attempts on him. I actually think I only did the one attempt at the end of this video, and then I decided to go do other things, because my intention with coming to Canehurst was not necessarily to fight him. I just wanted to get the bloodstone chunks, and I thought, hey, why not? I'm here, let me go ahead and give it a shot. But I'm not at a very high level still. Canehurst is a little bit of a later game area, so I wasn't doing a whole lot of damage to him, and it's been a while since I fought him, so it would definitely take me a while to get into the swing of things, and I would have been here probably as long as I was trying to fight the watchdog in one of my last videos. So I'm just going to let the final fight of this video play out. You'll see the full run up to the boss and my inevitable defeat at the hands of the boss. And then I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a great day.